Pa-pa-pa-pum. 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 Ra-pa-pum-pum. Ra-pa-pum-pum. Ra-pa-pa-pum. Now I'm thinking, what is the ra-pa-pa-pum? Harley Davidson. Pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. Ra-pa-pa-pum. Pa-pa-pa-pum. Never to be exactly online and going and weaving like a snake between this world and that world and this world and that world, trying to fixate the worlds between the two worlds, rup-pa-pa-pum, and the vibration of the Harley Davidson, rup-pa-pa-pum, going down the highway, and his hands are vibrating, and he can barely feel it. I drove that motorcycle, and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking. Anyways, good morning, everybody. For myself, it's also the afternoon. I've got the high decoration. I went to synagogue today, drove on the highway. The craziest thing happened. Just going to tell you one of the last parts first. Somehow I'm giving scotch out. My nephew's bar mitzvah today. Went in, family members, and they have what they call after is they give food to everybody, and we make donations in sort of a way. Hey, who would like to make a donation to next Saturday's Sabbath after they pray? Somebody is going to donate a little money so they can put food on the table for all those who came out to pray. And the lady, I was giving out scotch, like I said to my father, he told a great story. You talked to me and you put me down, and I didn't try to straighten you out, so I got put down for whatever reason. And the guy who heard me saw these two people were, one of them was doing wrong, one of them wasn't standing up or whatever he was doing wrong, the other one was putting him down instead of helping him to straighten out, and he did nothing about it, so all three of us are involved. So anyways, I said to my father, who was giving out shots of scotch, of 18-year-old scotch, I says, Dad, I says, tap him, I says, maybe we should give scotch to everybody that's here, even if they're not in the family. Because today was very special. We had decent, great food on the table, homemade. Also announced by the rabbi or the cantor that, don't worry, no GMOs in any of our foods. So he's basically aware, our cantor, of what's going home. I mean, we live on a tree, don't we? Vayasham min haaretz or something, the earth of Israel, because reality is the roll of life, the wrath of life, and these are because of what the numbers. So anyways, as I'm giving out the scotch to some of the people, one of the ladies says to me something. She says, bless you. I says, I've already been blessed. Of course, I should say thank you very much for blessing me. That was very kind for you, and I had one of my biggest blessings many years ago. And she asks me what, then she tells me to sit down with them, and she introduces me to a friend on the right, and he's a colored fella. He ain't got the same color of me. He's brown. It was very calming. When I looked at him, it was a calm brown, a very calm brown. It was very calming, and he looked like a calm person. And I made a jerk out of what I think is myself. I feel a little bit handsy around colored folk. Not, you know, but he was a brown. It was like a nice brown chocolate. I was just about to say that's my favorite because I like chocolate ice cream, right? In fact, so what did I say? I says, you know, I'm not white. It's the first thing I said, you know, I'm not white, I'm beige. Because I figured, you know, I'm coming in with a story. I want them to know that I know we're both in the brown family. White is where my eyes are. You know, white can be almost my butt end, but you know it's a little off beige. Can we actually know that ashes to ashes and dust to dust blow me away? I should have been doing a line right there. Because I like blew myself away, like I stand there. Don't I seem like a racist saying you're brown? Like, and then I look at him and go, "You're a teacher, eh?" And he goes, "Yeah, I am." Actually, he goes, "No." And the lady next to me says, "Yeah, he is. You're a teacher." And he's a music teacher, and he works in this one string. This one string. He has his four fingers up here apparently, and he has a seesaw down here, you know, like a seesaw, and he's seesawing this one string, and he tells me the chords are 1 to 5 with a center C. And I go, center C, C like the piano. I'm going, and you're in Mars, 1, 3, and 5. I go, ace. But I already made a jerk out of myself. But anyways, let me get back to the beginning of the story, where I say to my son, I said, We're in Clan Ronald. We're going to the shul. The name of the shul was, I forget the name of the shul. So I told him whatever the name of the shul in Clan Ronald, and I go to Google to punch it in, and I might have punched in, I punch it in, and all of a sudden it says auto route 15, 25 minutes, traffic accident. I says, okay, let's get on to 13. And he says, which way? And I said, fast, fast, because we're getting to that exit where it splits between the 13 on the 640, 64, connects 13 and 15. No, 14. 14 is all the villages in between the DNA, AD, in between the 13 and the 15, the M and the O, the mow. The mow, or mow the lawn, or the cows eating, or is it the goats that are eating the grass, which is like mowing the lawn? 13 and 15, 28 cycle to the moon, the movement of the water. 8 is the cycle of Neptune, and 2 is Venus. 1/4 of, because it's only of the sky. The layers of the sky right down to the water or the lakes, into the ocean, into the roots of the vines that feed the tree of the life we live, of the mist that surrounds us, the dome, that rainbow. So I tell my son, we get onto Highway 13. How long does it take you from Highway 13, he asks. It says an hour and 27 minutes. I'm going, what? Yeah, they were doing construction on Highway 13 Saturday morning. They say the construction starts in Laval. I says, we're going to get off and go around it. We get off to go around on the service road. The service road has twice as much traffic. That's on the 13, in which the 13 had twice as much traffic as the highway we were actually on. So if I didn't get onto Google, none of this would have happened. Almost had some sort of little argument. So we get there to the shul, and I'm looking at the stained glass. And the first one, with these 7 candles, in which there's like an E connected with, and the center of the E was the candle standing up to the next candle connected, to the 2 C's connected to the center, which is the E, but it's actually the I. I before C is E, except after C. And the design of the candles is C, C, creating the E, and the center holding the candle is I. I am the center of light. So there were 3 over here, 1 in the center, and 3 over here, and only the 1 in the center was straight. The other 2 were, because the candles were at a different height. 7 on this side, 7 on that side. But unlike my synagogue, where there's 7 on one side where the men sit, but 5 on the other side where the lady sits, where the center candle is not a candle, but the Star of David 6. 6 we're holding 6 of 2 and 2 above and below, holding of 1 light, of the beehive, or the honey, or the oil that burns that 1 light for 6 days. And after the 6th day, we pray to God on the Sabbath, and cometh bring us the 7th day. I didn't do that on purpose. But when you get into the vibration, this is the way I feel. The singing in Torah, the singing, the words, the vibration that comes from these Hebrew words, is it because I'm addicted to the Hebrew words? That I can't go to shul more than 3 times a year, and lo and behold, I really don't want to go into the place. But yet when I'm in the place, I don't want anybody to say anything because I'm listening to the words. They're so holy. He wished us good health. Health. I'm sorry, health. Right. And I was hungry. And I was hungry, cry, and hungry. It wasn't Mars, but the reverse of Mars is the ram. The goat, the ram, the bélier, the herder, and the shepherd. Sheep herder, shepherd, pardon. Sitting in synagogue, he also sends us good health. And I was jotting down a few things while I'm in the synagogue, and just to get back to what happened after the praying and the congratulations to my nephew, and everybody's giving a simcha or a gift next week for the food that's after. My brother-in-law announces that he's buying his son, or bought his son, a car, but not the bar mitzvah kid, but the bar mitzvah from 3 years ago. He's buying him a car. Good luck. Anyways, whatever, just so we can get around a little bit easier. So this was mentioned amongst everything, and I thought that was a little like awkward. Everybody's, you know, supporting $100 or something for people, you know, for next week's dinner, and whoever shows up there, you know, for the last prayer and ends up into the lunchroom, it doesn't matter what religion they are, you show up and you're hungry, they're going to feed you. Okay? Every week someone's donating something. Every year that somebody has passed away, they remember that week. Everybody remembers, and when they remember that, they remember the synagogue they went to, and they send in a donation, not really of money, but for the funds. The kiddush is what they call it. The kiddush. The kiddush is usually the fooling around, the talking period, the joking around. The kiddush, to get together to have that nosh. The nosh is the food, you know. So it doesn't matter if you're goyim or Jewish or whatever you are. And don't forget Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. J-A-I in French, as these are the initials: Jacob, Abraham, and Isaac. You notice that Abraham is in the center of Jacob and Isaac, between the left and the right. Like the candle of life, the Magen David, between the 77 candle lights, which represents Christ in the Catholic religion. And like when I walk in and the first thing the guy says, joking around, he says, the Yankees, the Astros, or the Dodgers. I said, good yad to you too. Yada yada. Yad. Not really sure what it means, but I know it's very strong in Hebrew. He says HASHEM, heaven's angels, she, spirit of heaven, electronic resident. HASHEM, to all with love, spirit. MS, muscular dystrophy. What is it in that word? The muscle, the MUS, the muse, the muscle, the cell. You spell it SLE, the spirit, ligament, electronic, connected. How does a word separate that? When you begin with one word, how we see it on earth, that we are skin and bones and muscle, but we know if you continue on, we are all the elements. We are the nickel and we are the silver and we are the gold connected to the moon of God. We are the electronic, we are the bronze. We are everything from the earth, and we move everything that moves in time and rotation, that reconnects the connection to all of us, bringing on recollection to recollect, to connect all of what was to know to now, to bring it on into the future, to bring no harm and to share, but to always remember, no matter how much we share, is there anybody on the other line that will really care what we share? And don't take it to heart. It's not their fault that they're cut off from the truth. Cut off from the truth so deep that if I don't make enough money, I won't have a good week. But on most weeks that I make no money, as long as I don't put certain things into my mind, I've always had great weeks. Many weeks have gone by where I haven't made a cent, where I've spent more than I've earned. So when you say I haven't made a cent this week, I don't feel so good, that's not what's so wrong. That's not what the problem, why you're not feeling good. The alternate reason. So I speak of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. J-A-R in the French language says J, which means I have. Je suis means I am and I have. The word Chaim says heaven of the angel spirit, artificial intelligence. Abraham, the candle of light, the ham radio, heaven's angel of love. M in French means love. Ham radio is that frequency. What is that frequency to ham radio? We can understand the connecting of the pigs. Me, two pigs facing each other, aren't sending their breath down, but they're sending their breath against each other. On the hair of my chinny chin chin. Isn't that what the wolf said? But does a wolf really have a chin? Does a pig really have a chin? Regardless, sitting in shul and I'm looking at a little design hanging from above. How three chains are holding on. Is it that way? How three chains are holding on to this piece, or this piece is hanging with a Magen David, and there's this rim around it, right? So this is actually holding on to the rim, and then this is inside the rim. It's very hard. I have to see this again because there was something very mysterious in this. And now let me just go back to the beginning of this video. The person that I speak to, oh, you're brown and I'm white. Says, that's very interesting. I mean, that's the way I sat down. You're brown and I'm white. I'm like so embarrassed. Well, he was just like a chocolate brown. I was like, next thing I was thinking in my mind, I said, don't say it. He says, you look like ice cream. I'm going to move for soft ice cream. That's that. I don't want that oily dark brown. I wanted that lighter dark brown. But what color am I? The almond, if you take a look at the almonds, okay. And now that I say look at the almond, I'm thinking of the Almond Brothers. So right now, if you want to make some relationships, get the Almond Brother names and think is Germain, German, Germination, Germination, and all the names of the Almond Brothers for the reality of the understanding of the almond itself. Look at the multiple levels of color. See on the inside, right? And the darker fellow is a little bit more on the outside. And this brown thing, this brown, how brown was he? He was that brown. I guess there's some layers of skin missing on me, and that's why I'm this white. I don't have the right amount of layers of skin on me. More layers of skin, right? Is that what I'm missing? Pigmentation? What is pigmentation? I don't know. Imagine, pigmentation. The skin. Connecting pigs. 97.7. 77 Christ, birth in Christ. Turn the sevens upside down in all reality and truth. They look like the L, which means 50-50. In fact, I saw something special today. I saw this on a yarmulke. First thing I saw, it's going to kick a field goal. And inside of that was one of these. So I'm trying to think, he's going to kick a field goal. Half and half. Splitting of the uprights. Looks like 44 area space. The space between the left and the right. Creating your E-world, electronic. Pulsating between the two posts. And igniting from the center. Number 4. One candle on each side of 1. All we need to know is number 4. Number 3 lights up 1. 1 star. Questionable. You want to ask me a question? Because how I'm saying it, I don't exactly see how it's working. I just see the image. What is it really supposed to say? Is this just going to ignite this star? And then maybe it goes off in a new direction? The goalposts are left to right, but the ball goes through it. Left to right, not moving, ball goes through it. Igniting 4. All the way around this yarmulke. So I'm sitting at the synagogue, and he's going to call my nephew up, and he says, we're under the roof. Right away, dog. HASHEM says he and she. Abraham's circumcision apparently happened at 100. Monopoly, you go by, 1 time 40, you get 200. We have 6,000 years, apparently the number we're working for, therefore 30 times, which is 30 times creation, or 60 times 100. Now the 60 seconds on the clock, 120 equals 1 to 15. The split of the heavens is the 8 ball, 1 to 15 is in pool, and included in 15 is in the 8, but not included is the cue ball, the one that starts it all. Is included in the game, but you never put it in a pocket, because when you put it in a pocket, you have to take out one of your own balls. Abraham, circumcision at 100. If we land on go directly, we get 400. 400 times 1 times 400 times 10. 400 times 15 equals 6,000. 30 times 200 equals 6,000. So it was 30 creation, or it was 15. So through Mars we had creation. 15, 30, 45, foxhole in the sun. 45, 0 equals 6, because on the 30 is a 0. Add 6 equals 51. Where does it come from? And don't forget, the half-life was 15, right? You got 400 for landing on go, which is the 7 and 15 letters says go. 7 and 15 are both the 7 ball in pool, right? But it's only the 6 ball on the high side. 15 and 8 are the same color. 1 and 5 equals to 6. 1 times 5 equals to E5. 5 and 6 equals 11, equals to 2. 7 and 2. win a big red sun, entering into the stripes and solids. Some numbers return and stay the same number, while some numbers change. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals 42 and 13. 55 minus equals 29. The total equals 84. Welcome to the half-life. Sun 48, Pluto 84. 4884 to the 7th gate equals 3113. 1331. 11 times 11 times 11. 13 plus 31 plus 13 equals 57. 31 plus 13 plus 31 equals 75. 57, 75. 77 times 75, or 75 times 75 plus 75 plus 75 equals to 57, 75. 33 come the masses. The Jesus Christ Mass. Here cometh the red Son of Christ. I see the devil in his eyes. Left and right, right and left, someone who's passing, I'm passing 6. I'm passing on the torch, I'm passing on the baton from one hand to the next, but only in one hand because you're not running with one hand. You ever see a bicycle go down the road? 2 wheels, all in line. Otherwise, you have 4 wheels, but the center of the car has no wheels. Center of the car has no wheels. Where the 2 wheels should go is in the center of the car, where the 4 wheels should go on each side of the car. The driver drives only on 2 wheels side of the car. Divided, together, and apart. The association and the motor and the transmission to the completeness that it brings forward. Heaven's angel, HASHEM, Spirit, heaven's angel, angel of love. And on a lot of the glass inside the synagogue, I saw purple in the glass, purple, violet, and purple. And I know it's the connecting skies. I know it's the true dark color is the purple and the violet. I was looking at the commandments, and there was a light that was going right through it, right? And then the Magen David goes right in front of it, and it was sort of connecting the split commandments of 5 and 5. Chèvre, French, chèvre. Chevrolet, chèvre is the goat. Is not the goat, is the ram. Chèvre is the ram, and Bélier is the ram, and chèvre is the goat. Chèvre. Chèvre Cardisho is the name of the synagogue. The Bélier, and I'm thinking Bélier, and that Bélier has to do with the prior video, on the tool video. The Bélier, when you see the one go this way and the other one go this way, almost like 2 shofars in the mouth, the Bélier, the goat, that connection of the faces. I don't know what it means. When you call out from one mountain to the next, right? Instead of the wolf being in the center, one wolf stands on this mountain, one calls that to that mountain. Again, the wolf in between howls at the moon, the vibration between the 2 mountains. The moon controlling the ocean between the mountains, because it's not in the mountain. Ballpark Franks. How about out of the ballpark? How about Chicago and hitting it into the water? The sea scrolls. Just trying to look at everything that went on today. The sheep says ba, ba, ba. The wolf is a loup. And to loup, okay, is to rent. And when you rent, you need a lease. And a lease in French says buy. I buy, to loup, to rent. My vibration, the wolf, between and in the ocean, somewhere around earth, brings on that vibration between the mountains. I am on the earth and I am in the tree. Because I yawn is the same word as buy. So when I yawn, what does it mean when I yawn, when I'm tired? So a buy, B-A-I-L, and I says stink. Well, it's actually garlic, and a lot of people look at I as stink. Okay, they also look at skunks as stink, which brings on another thing, that the bar mitzvah boy's dog last night met a skunk that pissed on him, and he came into the house, and their whole house stank. We know they had judgment last night. That's a true story. Israel Haaretz, Abraham, the Yankees, Jacob, Bradley. Buy. Bye-bye. Buy everything. If you're going to buy, you have a sell. If you got cells, you got lots of cells. Buy, sleep. Lou. and by the sheep. So now I talk about the sheep. I talk about the wolf that vibrates or howls between the mountains. I talk about the chèvre, or the goat. You all must pay attention to the wolf. I talk about the bélier, which is the ram hanging out in the trees. So I'm thinking of all these things, and I went to synagogue today. By the way, the name of the dog was Zorro. I guess he couldn't cut into the smell with his sword. But still he stunk. You can't cut away the spirit. You can't cut away those old vibrations that are standing in front of us, even if we're connected or redirected through the ground. Where is that trueness coming? And that was told by Jerry Vano, that everything comes from beneath the earth, and everything comes beneath the earth, and it vibrates into the air, and then you walk into that vibration as it's being pulled back down again, as it's being shot up all the time in front of you. That vibration always in your face. You walk right into it all the time. Muzzle tough. Again, the dog. Everything the Jew has to say is all about the dog. The roof, the dog, the roof, the dog. Fiddler on the roof. Yeah, 613 laws of Moses must have started with the 600 for the touchdown. For the 10 was the extra point, and for the 3 creation was a field goal. Soldiers in the field, generalize and keep them private. Raphael, 7286. And what happened this morning? An hour and 45 minutes in traffic. I salute everybody, and I bring the good word. That's that. Have a good day.